Welcome back everyone, I hope your day's been going well. The deadline day window does end in the next few hours, and in today's video I'm going to discuss the latest reports surrounding our move for Ousmane Dembele, as well as our interest in Raphinha of Leeds United. So we've got a ton of things to break down and discuss. It's quite clear that we are looking to sign new attacking players to revamp our attack for next season, so these reports are quite interesting and sexy indeed. Hope you guys enjoy. Now let's start with the first story and let's discuss these Raphinha links. Now this story comes courtesy of Italian journalist Gianluca Lungari, who reports that us and West Ham United are showing the strongest interest in signing the player this summer. Currently his contract does expire in 2024, he has 2 years left, and naturally because he is Leeds United's main talisman, main source of goals, main source of creativity, they are looking to get him to commit to signing a new deal by offering him higher wages. I can't imagine Raphinha would look to accept something like that, considering the talent he has and the fact that many big clubs are strongly monitoring the player. Personally, I think that Raphinha is a great player. And now that we're showing signs of showing some adaptation in our attack, with how we're using the attacking players in the team as well too, I think now, with this type of setup, I could definitely see Raphinha excelling down that right-hand side. We're seeing signs of a player prospering through this new adaptation in our attack in Hakim Ziyech, who's really showing what he can produce down that right-hand side and the output he can bring to the team if he's given that free role out wide. But I guess my question is now, do we necessarily need two players of that nature down the right-hand side? And I guess now would be the best time to give my thoughts and opinions behind this story. I think I actually want to start things off by saying I do a lot of news videos. I talk about a lot of the rumors, news, targets, etc, etc. But one way to look at the stories and the players are being linked with is that it gives us a great indication behind the profiles of players we're looking to target and players on the shortlist as well too. For example, look at our attack. We've been linked with players such as Anthony, players like Raphinha, Dembele, Chiesa, etc, etc. These are players that like to play wides, they're inverted wingers, and I think that's a profile that always excels at this club, and I think we need more players like this, considering that we have players in the team currently who might not suit Tuchel's possession style play the best. They're probably the prime candidates to move on, get that money from them, and reinvest that back in the team to sign more suitable players that can just give us more of a competitive edge throughout the entire season. So it's quite clear to see that we are looking for inverted wingers that have goal output, and as I keep saying, if we're targeting that type of profile, it just keeps reinforcing to me that we could be seeing some changes for next season. And could this allude to the fact that we may become more of a back four team going out into the future? We'll have to see. I'd guess out of all the guys we're linked with, you'd probably say that Dembele is the main one that is the favourite to be signed out of your Raphinhas, Anthony's, etc, etc. And I guess right now is the perfect time to segue into the next story today, and let's discuss what the hell is happening surrounding this story and surrounding this deal. Now let's move on to the biggest story of transfer deadline day, and let's discuss the entirety of this Ousmane Dembele saga, because this story has been evolving literally like every single hour. To give you guys like an accurate timeline of events of how exactly the news has played out surrounding this deal, we first have to start with the big report that came out from ABC Football, which is a Spanish publication. Essentially, they said that our deal to sign Dembele is 99% done. We've offered him a 4-year contract. That's going to expire 30th of June 2026. We already know from lots of reports that Dembele ideally wants to work under Thomas Tuchel again and wants to play in the Premier League. His agent, in Sissoko, he's been pushing his clients to move into the Premier League for a while as well too. This is the perfect opportunity. So without a doubt, we are the favourites when it comes to signing him. Now, interestingly enough, at the same time, there has also been another transfer saga, and that involves Aubameyang and Barcelona, with Barcelona hoping to sign Aubameyang until the season ends on loan. This story has also been evolving. We thought that this deal had collapsed because earlier it was reported that Barcelona and Arsenal, couldn't find an agreement over the planned salary coverage to, of course, pay for Aubameyang. Barcelona, to be able to sign and register players, they must release players first. Hence why Dembele is so key and why they're so desperate to push him to any club. That's why he was linked to Paris Saint-Germain, even though he doesn't want to go back to France. And that's why clubs like Arsenal and Tottenham have been linked a lot with him. And I'm going to touch upon these two clubs later on in the story. Aubameyang actually travelled to Barcelona in hopes of getting this deal concluded, so his intent is definitely to become a Barcelona player after holding talks with Xavi over how he would be used at Barcelona. Now we move on to Sky Sports reports, which came out maybe like over an hour ago, in which they reported that we saw a chance to sign Dembele before deadline day. Now, I'm not too sure what those details were. Sky did not confirm the context behind how we could get this deal signed before deadline day ends. However, they did allude to the fact that it's more likely that a deal would be done during the summer. Now, this makes so much more sense. You know, Dembele currently wants to remain at Barcelona. There's big financial reasons behind this. And there are other reasons too, because Barcelona admitted earlier tonight, literally like maybe half an hour ago, they are still in the pursuit of signing Aubameyang. As I'm saying, before they can do that, they must release Dembele off their wage bill to be allowed to register Aubameyang for their squads. Laporte, he reported that there is some interest from English clubs, and it's up to Dembele to decide whether he wants to sign for them to get this deal completed. Barcelona made the position clear from the start: if you don't agree to our terms, you are out, and we want you gone in this window. The biggest holdup that really prevents us from going all out to get Dembele in this current window is that we all know we have to let players go first. We have too many attacking players on the books right now. Adding another one to this squad is not going to make them happier, and as I was saying in my other video, it will just make the situation even more tense. In the end, it seemed like Laporte was alluding to the fact that he was trying to force Dembele to either go to Arsenal or to Tottenham, and naturally, why would Dembele want to leave Barcelona and then make a step down in his career? It doesn't make any sense. He wants to go to the Premier League, he wants to work under Tuchel again. It makes sense for all parties, us and Dembele, to get this deal done in the summer. In the summertime, we'll have no transfer fee to pay for Dembele. Before he becomes a free agent, we have plenty of time to secure that pre-contract agreement to guarantee he becomes our player once the next summer window does begin. Dembele would earn a massive signing on bonus. He would earn even bigger wages, and of course his agent will get to cash out as well too, because we won't have to spend any money on any transfer fees. And for me, this makes the most sense as to why Dembele would prefer to remain at Barcelona, hold it out for a few months before moving on this summer. There are many rumours that came out tonight suggesting that maybe Werner, Pulisic could be players offered in exchange to Barcelona, so we could sign Dembele now. However, there was nothing concrete behind them, that's why I didn't mention it. I guess it hasn't been all doom and gloom on Barcelona's part, because it seems like yet again they are set to sign Aubameyang now on an initial 6-month deal with an option to extend by a further 12 months. Real talk, you guys, I swear like I've recorded this video like 5 different times now. New information keeps coming out left, right and center. It's actually been so frustrating, I'll be honest with you. But it does seem like maybe Dembele is definitely set to stay at Barcelona now. And Aubameyang will now be signing for Barcelona in very incredible circumstances. Now, it was reported that it seemed like they had reached an agreement to sign him on loan for the first 6 months. And then once his loan spell ended, then sign him permanently on a 1-year deal. We've got information now that it seems like Arsenal will be allowing the player to be leaving on a free to sign for Barcelona. You might be thinking, what? Leaving on a free? How does that make any sense? Well, Aubameyang is earning around 350k per week. So not paying him for 18 months means that they're basically saving nearly 30 million pounds. That is an astronomical amount of money. They know that Aubameyang's value will just keep depreciating. They can't be in another Ozil situation. I'm sure they've learned the lesson from that one. And on top of this, you might also now be thinking, well, how can Barcelona register Aubameyang when they need to free up their wage bill first by letting players leave to, of course, add new players to the squads? They've recently now just loaned out their goalkeeper in Inaki Pena, who will now be leaving on loan, which frees up space for Aubameyang, who will be taking a massive wage cut to sign for Barcelona. I mean, he's already made all the money he needs to make. He's signing for Barcelona because Xavi and him have had many conversations. He likes the project there. He, of course, wants to represent them. He's always wanted to play in La Liga as well too. So, you know, credit to the player for, you know, putting his football first over his earnings. And, of course, this is probably good news for us now, because with Aubameyang and Adama Traore and Ferran Torres now registered to Barca squads, this almost guarantees now that Dembele won't feature at all for Barcelona. He will be ostracized from the squad as well. And with us having the hopes of signing Dembele, of course, for next summer, the fact that we don't have to worry about him picking up any injuries, the fact that he will be fully fit as well too, of course, makes this negotiation even sweeter in our favour. Now, before I even end things, I need to just drop maybe one interesting report that I saw that came from another Spanish application. And I guess this report could confirm the news that Sky reported a few hours ago. And that's the fact that we actually look to make a 6-month loan attempt to sign Dembele on loan this window. Now, the plan would be to sign him on loan for 6 months, of course, free him off Barcelona's wage bill. And then once he becomes a free agent at the end, I guess then look to do business and sign him. Now, the fact that he'd be at the club potentially for 6 months would work in our favour. You know, working under Tuchel, playing in the Premier League. You'd imagine that he'd just be dead set on signing for us straight after that. So, again, I'm not seeing too many updates surrounding that particular story. Who knows if this is going to even evolve into anything else as the hours go on. I'm really hoping it doesn't, because I don't want to make another 6th edit to just get as all the most accurate information for you guys, because that's what's important to me. The report stated that it was Thomas Tuchel who was involved in, you know, trying to get this deal over the lines and trying to get this deal signed on loan. Again, I'm not too sure about that. I'd imagine Tuchel's a very brave guy. You know, you already have attacking guys who are unhappy at this point in time. Adding more competition on top without other players leaving, I don't see how that works. But yet again, this comes from AS. They're not the most reliable sources at times. And as I'm really stressing, it feels like we are the dead favourites, the dead cert favourites to lead the race to sign Dembele for next summer. For me, we get that done, you guys. And wow, you know, we're doing preparation already for next season. We're looking at Koundé, Dembele, Tchouaméni could possibly be available as well too. It'll cost big money, but you have to spend big money on big players. And if we get those 3 Frenchmen, Tchouaméni, Koundé, Dembele, next season's an absolute joke already, you guys. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving, and pray to the gods that there aren't any more updates coming out, because I have to cover that in the morning instead then, you guys. So on that note, I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions CV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.